Hi, so you're thinking about buying a home in Jupiter or the surrounding area, and you're thinking about buying a property maybe as an investment. You're looking for a rental. Maybe you want to flip a home, or maybe you want to look at a home that needs some work. Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. Hi, my name's Andy Johnson with the Andy Johnson Group over at eXp Realty, and I am so excited about this video that we're doing today. All the time, we're getting calls from people that are looking for a great deal, and great deals is what we're going to cover. We're going to be looking at investment properties, foreclosures, rentals, and then really buying a property like this where you can go in, do some work, and then end up with equity on the other side. But before we do that, if you have never visited our channel or never done it before, make sure you go ahead and click subscribe and ring that bell so you can be notified anytime we post new content about living in Jupiter, the surrounding area, or great deals on homes or other exciting things that you are just going to want to know about. And make sure to stick around at the end so we give some tips on how to go about this process. So I found myself in a really unique circumstance, which is why I wanted to definitely shoot that video. And that is that I have an investor that purchased two condos that are exactly the same in varying stages of doneness to kind of showcase what we're looking at. So I'm standing in one of the condos right now. This one has basically had nothing done to it yet other than it's been gutted. Things have been pulled out, and that's what we're looking at. You know, this is the kitchen behind me. This is a very small condo. It's about 900 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, all on a single story. And this happens to be in a 55 and older community. And we'll finish this video up going into the other one, which is not completed, but you can see where some of the work has been done. It's a little cleaner. There's some floors in there, but it's still absolutely 100% a work zone. So let's kind of dive into it. All right, so number one is why people want to get into projects like this. And really there's 3 reasons. You know, one is you're looking to flip a property. 2 is you want to purchase a rental, and maybe you want to get into something like this that needs work so that the rent rate that you're getting is a better ROI than paying for a finished product that's already done. Or of course, it's because you want to buy a home and you want to get it down here and you want it to be worth up here when you're finished. Not to mention, you get to come in and do all the work. When you come into a project like this, what you need to do is know your numbers beforehand, depending on what you're attempting to do, right? You need to have an idea of what money you have available to you, whether you're going to get a loan, some type of construction loan that's going to allow you to do the work, or whether you're going to pay cash for the property and then pay cash for the projects as they need to go along. Financing on properties like this can be difficult sometimes from an insurance standpoint, depending on what they need. Some of them aren't insurable, and so you need to know what you're looking for. You know, if you're looking at investment properties, whether it's a flip or whether you're looking for a rental, you know, when somebody tells me that they're looking for something like that, one of my first questions is always going to be, what kind of ROI or return on investment are you looking for? Because that's really what it's all about, is what kind of money are you going to make and what type of property do you want to own? You're not going to be the person living here. You know, you don't have to love the floor plan. You don't have to care if it has high ceilings or not, or where the kitchen is. You need to know that someone else is either going to be willing to A, come in and purchase the property when you're done, or obviously B, is going to be willing to rent it at a number that makes sense to you. And we can calculate those figures up front for you. And it's very, very important going in. Really the same thing though, you know, if you're gonna come in and you wanna purchase a property like this and get it finished, there's types of loans out there that allow you to purchase the property cash, and then you can actually finance the work that needs to be done through the project. Now, I'm gonna put a little asterisk by that. If you go that route, but you typically cannot do, when I say typically, I don't know that you ever can do the work yourself. You are going to have to hire another contractor to get that work done. It's gotta be an arm's length for the bank. And there's all sorts of properties around where you can find that. One of the biggest challenges sometimes in getting into properties like this is locating them. You know, when you're looking to flip a property specifically, the amount of room that you need from the purchase price to the finished price is a lot larger than what a lot of people realize. Because after you're done buying the property, paying closing costs, you know, then you've got to do the rehab on the property, you know, then you've got to pay the closing costs at the end. You know, your margins there is not as large as a lot of people think. So this particular investor, this is a little bit less expensive community. It is located right in the middle of Palm Beach County. This particular investor bought this unit for around $100,000. The plan is that he's gonna put about $60,000 into the property and sell it for about $200,000 when it's done. But that does not mean that he's gonna make $40,000. You know, he's got those closing costs plus holding costs or even opportunity costs, since he's paid cash, that he's got to take into account. Plus, because it's an association, you got to keep paying those. So all of those things come into play, and we can absolutely help you work the numbers on this. You know, on this one, I think that the investor here is hoping to net somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000 for each unit that they're going to be doing. And that works no matter what price range you're kind of looking in. You've got to decide what that initial money outlay is that you're willing to do, where your projected costs are going to be, and then what kind of return you need at the end to make sure that it's going to work for you. So this is something though that you can expect to see on something where you're going to make the most amount, and that is this property needs to be completely redone. It's not getting taken down all the way to the studs, but new light fixtures, new paint, new trim, new doors. New windows may or may not be put in here as well. You know, for people that are looking for themselves and want to live in something, you know, if you don't have somewhere else to live, this isn't really going to work for you. You need to find something that's livable, that you can do cosmetic upgrades to, which are great. You're just probably not going to get as high of a return because that property is going to sell more. But in our market today, you know, properties that need work are really starting to be value considerations because they're sitting and people aren't wanting to do that. You know, most buyers are always going to want to go and get something that is completely finished. They want to just be able to walk in and enjoy the property. You know, where you're looking for that return makes a big difference. But let's now hop over. I'm going to shut this down and we're going to start over in the other unit so you can kind of see what it's progressing to and what you may hope to see. I always think what's surprising though is, you know, where you can take something that's cement floors and just cut out walls and what it gets turned into. And like I said, the other one's not a finished product, but I think that it's interesting to see. So let's go check it out. So here we are in the exact same unit, but it looks a little bit different. Now, as I said, this is an active work zone. You can see the countertops are not put in yet. Still got tools everywhere. I'm gonna kind of take you around on this one so you can kind of see the floors and the trim and whatever, but actually right to the left of me here, they've got tons of appliances sitting out. But you know, LED lighting has gone in, they've got the kitchen cabinets in, and their counters are coming soon. Floors are in, which you'll see. And I think one of the biggest things for people that have never done projects like this before is the absolute transformation that you can see in the cost of it. And that is one thing that we are here for you, right? Is to help you with those. We have lots of connections in the area, whether you're looking for a painter, whether you're looking for a contractor, you know, and there's a big difference in, I should mention for those that have never done it, you know, going out and hiring a contractor that's going to manage everything for you, and you being the contractor and hiring a bunch of subcontractors. And either way you want to go, we can help you. You're going to save money if you act as the contractor, but it is a lot more work to do this. It's a lot more difficult, and you need to kind of be paying attention to what's going on. That's often why, especially if you're trying to do a project like this from somewhere else, if you live somewhere else in the country, or if you're international, contractor is the way to go, because you just can't manage a property or a project like this properly if you're not here to come take a look. But when you're done, you have a finished product that is going to be absolutely beautiful, and you can do it any way that you want. You get to pick your color schemes, you get to pick the cabinets, of course, and it ends up really, really fantastic. Like I said, painters, electricians, plumbers, AC guys. We've got guys that remove smells. Anything that you need, we've got a full list at the Andy Johnson Group. And if this is something that you're looking for, often the best deals that you're gonna find are off-market properties, which is something that we have discussed before. When things hit the market, sometimes immediately you're gonna see the price driven up. We can't find off-market properties anywhere all the time. And while we do have a lot, if you have a specific neighborhood that you're really trying to find something in, or you know, if you know of a community where you want a rental property because the return is great, but there's nothing actively on the market, we do have tools and ways to go and find you those people that are willing to sell to you that aren't necessarily on the market yet. Or if you're focused in a general region, you know, please reach out to me and let me know, because that's what we're here for. You know, plenty of the deals that we do come straight from the MLS, things that you're looking at online, but a lot of what we do, we find ourselves for our buyers as long as they know what they're looking for. And when you get into this, from the investment side, you see things like your gross return or your net operating income, your ARV, things like that. If you don't know what those mean, that's not a big deal. Call me or leave us a message below about what your specific question is. We can absolutely answer those questions for you. Buying a property that needs work is such a value to you as the buyer. If somebody's done it for you, the value is that you get to walk in and just enjoy the home. But if you are willing to put in the time, effort, and energy that it takes to transition one of these properties into a finished product, it can really, really do nice things for your pocketbook. I hold rental properties on my own. I believe in it. And if that's something that you want to get into and you want to have a discussion about, I'm happy to talk to you about that as well, what the costs look like, what you need to consider. Just because you want to do it doesn't mean that you should. Just because you want to do it, maybe you don't want to do it here. And that's fine. Maybe South Florida isn't in the area. Maybe you want to do it where you are right now. I'd still love to have conversations because I like talking about real estate. But listen, at the end of the day, if you are looking for something in South Florida, whether it's a project, a great deal, or a finished product on the water, we're here to find that for you. Can't wait to be your resource for everything real estate and would love to hear from you. So please, I know we kind of just touched on a lot of different topics today, but it's to let you know we're here and we can dive deeper. It's tough to make these videos for a general audience. Obviously, some people are going to be more advanced than others, but want to talk to every single one of you. And hey, obviously, if you want to buy either one of these, they're going to be for sale, so we can do that too. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Can't wait to see you on the next one.